Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Queen Gaming and stuff you on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Heroes Advent, Kody's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up and let's go! Alrighty. Stay safe, Max. Please, come back home safely. Soon enough, everyone had already said their goodbyes. You could see the dragon and the lynx rather glossy-eyed. The cheering continued on for a while even after you've departed from the guild. Despite the fair tidings, you couldn't help but feel rather wistful, though you decided against voicing your thoughts, lest you ruin the moment. With the crowd in a more tempered state, Alaric stood in the middle of the lot, prepared to address everyone present. Is everyone ready? We're ready, sir. Good. Now I suppose there won't be a better moment to address everyone. As you already know, the journey ahead will not be an easy one for all of you. It'll be full of trials and tribulations. But as Gallanteers, there are no finer men suited for the task. It is what we have trained for. It is what we were made for. To tread this perilous path, upon which our radiance shall dispel the shadows that he had wrought upon our land, or at the very least burn a memory so bright that we shall be remembered forever. Go forth, brave Gallanteers. May the Maker's grace guide your way through, then back home triumphantly. Ordini Prosperita! Ordini Prosperita! With the fading cheers and well wishes encouraging you onward, their voices faded into the distance, ushering you into your solemn journey. Everyone rode in relative silence, speaking in conspiratorial murmurs and conversations. Usually Carl or you would play something on your phones if you couldn't talk with the others, though the only thing that played were the nature sounds around you. It didn't take long before the silence started to get to you. It had escaped your notice that it wasn't just your group, but bringing up the rear was a few mounted soldiers as well. Hey! What? He paused, focusing on the rocking from the Hulf to subside as Kody reined it in. Did Alaric send you with us? Aye, we've been instructed to guard the Akai so it does not come to harm as well. Accompanying your group was secondary. As well? Isn't the Akai safe? That's what we'd like to believe, which was also the mistake we made with the Guardian Crystal. Aye, but I can't take anything as absolute anymore, even if you hadn't meant for it to happen. The fact remains you grew complacent. Another oversight could be catastrophic. Before long, midday had come by the time you reached the checkpoint. The guardsmen departing through the gate towards, following the trail to the Akai. Captain Max! Ah, perfect timing. Did you collect our supplies after all? Yes, sir. We've received your orders from Master Alaric. You've been authorized to retrieve the supplies at your campsite. All safe for the hover cart. It has already been repossessed to aid in the relocation effort. That will do. Just show us where the supplies are and we'll take it off your hands. This way, sir. You were guided to a storeroom hidden away to one side of the outpost. Kody and Alex were quick to grab their equipment from the lot, adding it to their already bulging packs. Max and Ray handled the tent kits and bedrolls, easily fitting them on their mostly unburdened steeds. Even after being told you could take your things back, the door to the storeroom remained under watchful surveillance, likely just there to ensure you haven't stolen something else you shouldn't. With the last of everyone's belongings packed away, you all mounted back onto your hooves, thanking the clerk for his assistance. You watched him return to his small office inside the wooden structure as even the forest disappeared at your backs. Now that the guards were gone, the usual privacy you all shared seemed to return, your guildmates openly speaking of their plans ahead. So, where exactly are we heading? We'll be following the established route towards the King's domain, though we might have to deviate from the maps our recon squads have mapped out to stop by settlements for additional supplies. Oberlufslosh lies all the way on the other end of the continent. The what now? His stronghold. In common, I guess you could think of it as a flying castle. It's not a literal flying castle, is it? It doesn't really fly, but it was built physically above the previous castle. That was the gossip around the honeysuckle. Correct. After the coup of Baumgarten House, the king built his stronghold hovering over the old castle. Survivors say it serves as a beacon to remind others of his rule over the East Gallant. To have his reign seen and acknowledged throughout Goss, Kaltir, and Zaxoni, that was his vision. But that wasn't enough for him. Now that acknowledgement is spread across the whole continent. Disgusting. He'd better enjoy what remains of his reign. We'll put a stop to it. So, you guys still didn't really answer my question earlier. Oh, I suppose I wasn't being clear. The closest settlement from the Akai checkpoint is Fort Firenze. We'll probably stop there for the night and head to oh, goodness, y'all. And head to Venezia in the next morning. Venezia, the city of canals. The last time we were there was when... The Lynx grew silent, his expression darkening. Everyone else also didn't seem inclined to follow up on that. Alex? Sorry, it's nothing. Are you sure, Alexander? We can always reroute if you don't. The recommended path according to the scouts is landing at Firenze before passing through Venezia. There's no point putting our lives at risk going off the established path. Agreed. Any objections? You and the others share a collective nod, content with the decision. All right, it's settled then. With the road set, we should consider getting into position. Rye, you know the drill. Head out ahead and pack and keep us warned of any threats. Just like old times, eh? Gotcha. Alex, you're with me. I'll need your help keeping us on course and strategize in the event of another nether beast attack. Kody, the rear guard should be safer for now. You hold back with our rations. Everyone's order clear? Clear. I guess I should just go with whomever I'm riding with? Yes, we can't keep stopping to swap your riding partner. Just sit tight with him for now, Cassian. It'll be nice to have company in the back by myself. We could discuss what's for dinner then. Right, got a head start on it. There won't be any dinner if you don't watch the supplies too, you guys. Don't forget about those rascally critters. We will, Max, don't worry. I guess that'll do. With their orders in place, the Red Dragon went ahead of the pack. You sure I'm not a burden like this, guys? It would have been worse off having you ride without any training. You'll find a way to make yourself useful, Cassian. You always seem to. You can still help us strategize. A fresh perspective is always welcomed. Still, there is a non-zero possibility of things going sideways. Keep your wits about you. Well, alright, I'll see what I can do. So the cities you guys mentioned, what are they like? I suppose I should give you a quick rundown of the local settlements on the basis that you lack familiarity with this continent. Well, that much should be obvious. So, what kind of place was Venezia? Thousand Canals City. Right. Before the invasion, it was known as the City of Canals. Their underground tunnel and canal network reached far and wide across this general area. Canals? Was it built near the sea or something? No, it was built near a lake, actually. What made you say they'd build it near the sea? The constant tidal motions would not allow any structures to hold integrity. You forgot about Atlantia, Alex. Atlantia is different. Their whole city is built with a conduit system at its core. I can't imagine people trying to do the same in the sea shallows, even in Galileo. I don't really know much of this other place you mentioned, but back in my world there was a city built on a series of small islands and lagoons. I see. And what was that city called? Venice, I think. I wasn't paying attention in geography class a lot. Fascinating. What are the odds that cities between two different worlds shared names like that? Huh? What do you mean? Well, Venice is another name for Venezia, in one of the Rhodean language dialects. In fact, a lot of the cities in Polaria have more than one name. For example, aside from Venice, Venezia was also known as Venetia. Oh, so that's why I've heard of that other name somewhere before. Yes, Venetia, Venetiae, Venice, Firenze, Florentia, Florence, Palermo, Panomus, Crystal Coast. They all refer to the same place respectively. Huh. What's so complicated? Where I'm from, they just named the settlement after the families that built it. You're Kostalavian. You're Kostalavian, and you built the town with Azapov? Then it'll be Kostalavian Azapov. Simple as that. Water time. Alright, guys and gals, and we are back. Let's jump back in, shall we? Okay. Very Sphobodian. I like it, though. Well, I'm still just going to call them the way they're called around Crystal Coast. Names don't matter if they're just the same locations, right? Yes, while I'm fascinated by the nomenclature, I can't deny that most people would default to the most commonly used one. So, why were there so many tunnels and canals in Venezia again? Oh, I believe they simply repurposed the old mining shafts and quarries once the reserves had been mined out. The canals were just a byproduct of that, natural springs and underground streams that the people mined into at some point. Now that does sound pretty cool, not gonna lie. From the way all the texts describe it, it does sound lovely. I wish I could have seen that for myself. All there was in Sphebodia were snowfields and tundras. Having lived in Palermo for most of our lives, I would have liked to see these legendary Venetian tunnels before the invasion happened.
I guess all we can do is dream. It all happened before any of us were born.
We don't exactly have the luxury of sightseeing, even if the tunnels still existed. Such a shame.
But back to the topic at hand. Venezia was not just any town or city. It was the main trading hub between Polaria Dextra and Polaria Sinistra, or for simplicity's sake, I suppose you could see it as the east and the west of the Empire. Any supply caravans going from the old capital would need to pass through Mediolanum and Venezia's tunnel network before they can reach the eastern side of the continent.
That's a lot of names I don't recognize. Me neither. Though I suppose much of the old country is no more. Right, either abandoned or having fallen into the initial Nether invasion.
From my understanding, much like Polaria Magna and Mediolanum, Venezia was actually quite prosperous. The people had ample supplies to weather the storm, and even their stationed garrison was equipped with state-of-the-art crystal weaponry.
Hold on, sounds like they were prepared for the invasion. Is the city abandoned now?
Not quite. In order to explain that, you'll need some context first. When the old capital fell, the news traveled fast. Being the trading hub that it was, Venezia was one of the first to be aware of the invasion when it went beyond a mere territory expansion. But due to an oversight, the governor of Venezia at the time, Martel de Provenzal, left the city in a defenseless state that the king's army simply waltzed straight through the city's outposts.
What kind of oversight would have let this happen? A whole lot of bureaucracy.
Oh, is this that
city I've heard of that others talk about? Where absolutely nothing could be done without some sort of formal request? From commissioning a weapon to moving soldiers to even being allowed to go to the bathroom.
Yes, even evacuations couldn't take place until it had been authorized. As you can imagine, even when those requests were filed well in advance, nothing was done until the last minute. Once those requests had to go through the entire chain of command.
What? Even during a crisis? That can't be real.
That was the failure on Governor Marcel's part. As a result, their initial casualties were in the hundreds. It took a lot of struggle for them to consolidate within the city walls and repel further advances from the Nether Army. Since then, however, they've closed the city gates and rejected communication with other active settlements, including Crystal Coast.
But shouldn't they be working with the guild to better fend off the enemy? I thought so too, but looks like they don't want to risk what's left of the city getting overrun.
Right. What about that other place, Firenze? Fort Firenze, yes, between the Akai and Venezia.
It's also a mining city, isn't it?
Good to know you still remember something from class at least. Yes, it was built into the valley, started out as another mining hub. The mineral reserves that weren't as rich as Sardegna, or even Sicilia for that matter, but the first settlers did make quite the fortune there. After Venezia's fall, they saw the writing on the wall and quickly got together to fortify the entire city walls, which was how they managed to fend off the initial attacks for the most part.
Alright, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!